Aloha, President Lassner, Provost Bruno, faculty, friends, family, and most importantly, fall, spring, and summer graduates of the University of Hawaii at Manoa 2020. I can't see you graduates, unfortunately, but something tells me you're not wearing a gown and a funny hat with a tassel. Clearly, this commencement is not a time of pomp, but you have circumstance galore. When the year started, 2020 held promise. Just the name connoted clear vision. And then came the pandemic. Congratulations to each 2020 graduate for attaining your degree. This is an achievement that no one can take away from you. It's now part of who you are. You did what you needed to do over the years in order to reach this goal. I believe that any struggle you get past, any trauma you make it through, gives you confidence to overcome again. Battle-hardened confidence is a valuable attribute. Don't discount this experience. Own it as you face your next challenge. I know a little something about hardship. When I was 18, I lost my future. Awaiting me after graduation from Kalani High School in Honolulu was a nearly full-ride journalism scholarship at the University of Southern California, along with a part-time job at the Los Angeles Times. This was before newspapers ran up against the internet. That summer, after high school, my parents divorced and declared bankruptcy. My mother was left with no income, the family house full of debt, and the care of 4 kids, including my disabled brother and baby sister. I stayed home and became a waitress, scurrying around in a pink uniform with a white bow tied in the back. I was lucky. There were server jobs available at the time in Waikiki. And I was lucky in something else. I already knew my passion, journalism. I set 4 audacious goals for myself: support the family, save the family house from foreclosure, attend UH Manoa, and become a journalist. Right, a teenager with no means, no connections. Well, I began thinking differently than I'd ever thought before, tactically, strategically. I pictured my new environment as a jungle. In this alien world, I listened for sounds, looked for movement, and considered where and when to take a step. All 4 goals were not within my control to achieve. And yet, long story short, these goals were achieved within 2 years. First, I fought shyness to approach the old Honolulu Star-Bulletin newspaper for a trainee job. Well, all I got was a look of amusement and a gruff voice telling me, go get a college degree and then come back. But 3 months later, I received a gruff callback and a part-time job running errands at the newspaper's State Capitol Bureau. One day at an obscure legislative subcommittee hearing, I happened upon a big story, wrote it up, and it hit the front page with a banner headline scooping other news outlets. Before I was 19, I was named a full-time newspaper reporter. My steady paycheck stopped foreclosure on the house, and they also enabled me to attend the UH. I'm not saying it was easy. The jungle was not always friendly, but along the way, I received unexpected boosts of help, which I'll never forget. By the time some of my high school newswriting buddies came home from mainland colleges with degrees, there were few good jobs open in daily journalism here. I was covering the crime beat, relishing the challenge and feeling super grateful. Without the hardship of my family's financial collapse, I would never have aimed at a young age for a reporting job at Hawaii's largest newspaper, and I wouldn't have had a head start in my chosen field. At this time, I've been continuously employed for 48 years at statewide news organizations in Hawaii. Next month, I'm retiring as president and CEO of PBS Hawaii. Author Joseph Conrad said, "We must be ready to get rid of the life we've planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us." Do you know that in later life, for many people who've experienced serious setbacks and grave loss, these hardships are generally not top of mind. Instead, they light up at what their hardships made possible. For example, close, enduring relationships and other opportunities that would not have presented themselves. They're thankful. They see the adversity they faced as being necessary to create their joy and satisfaction. I've read about this and I've heard it over the course of interviewing 330-something individuals on my weekly program, Long Story Short, with Leslie Wilcox. And as a reporter, I spoke with thousands of people about their lives. Believe me, I'm not arguing that hardship is a prize, and I'm not minimizing the enormity of what you face today. I'm saying that all is not lost, that your life can even become better with or because of adversity. For example, Momi Cazimero, growing up on Hawaii Island, being told repeatedly that she would never amount to anything, might not have felt driven to prove herself worthy, but she did feel driven. And she became the first Hawaiian woman to own a graphic design business in Honolulu, and she served as a UH Regent.
There were enough people telling me about why I couldn't do something all throughout my life. But you know, for everything that somebody said I couldn't do, that I overcame, after a while, you don't listen to all of those in a serious way. And what I mean by that is that the first time somebody said, you cannot do that, and I did it, I thought, okay, the next time somebody said, you cannot, I remember the first time somebody said no, so you build on each one of those things that you're able to overcome. You build the next can do.
It comes down to, it can be worse. It's that simple. You know, when things are really bad and then I go, it really can be worse. And when I stop and think about that, I go, I am blessed.
You know, one of the values and one of the stories that I grew up with was, you know, if you think things are hard right now, you know, try losing everything that you've had twice in tsunamis. And so it seems like, and coming back from that, there was a story of resilience, really, of being able to come back from losing everything. And also they use that to teach us how, you know, it's material things that aren't what's important. It's your family and your relationships.
My awesome mother has passed, but my younger siblings and I have a continuing tight bond, and we've looked out for each other all of our lives. As a result of my family's financial collapse, I learned as a young adult to manage uncertainty and embrace problems as a normal part of life. I learned to accept and deal with tough situations and changes rather than spend precious time resisting and avoiding them. Acceptance is important. And I promise you from direct experience that the ancient wisdom of fall down 7 times, get up 8 still works. Woody Allen has his issues, but he was right when he said that 80% of life is just showing up. Attend, participate, try. It opens you up. Support your friends. Say something when someone vulnerable is being marginalized or treated unkindly. Be positive, be resilient, be consistent, and be patient. As my friend Kavika Kahiapo says, progress is usually uphill. You face a steep climb, I know. I'm so sorry that a terrible job market awaits you after all of your preparation, hard work, and sacrifices. I'm betting that your generation will find the inspiration, the will, and the means to make desperately needed changes in the world. For example, something my generation failed to do, which is taking care of and saving our natural environment. What an infinitely wonderful achievement and gift to the world that would be from you. While current leaders are working to put back the pieces of our world, your generation is capable of creating many new constructs for a better future. Don't be afraid of the complexities. Take your shot. You have the technology and the skills. You understand how to collaborate. You see a world in need of more justice and equality and inclusion and kindness, especially now and especially as a way of life. You know, there's a cliche that journalism professors can't stand seeing or hearing in the lead sentence of a news story. After a close call, so-and-so is lucky to be alive. The truth is, we're all lucky to be alive, period. Let's start with an appreciation for what we have and build up. Use your life, your education, and your valuable experience in overcoming adversity so far. That's a great start. Welcome to the jungle. Listen for sounds and consider your steps. Gain your future. Believe in yourself. I believe in you. Mahalo piha and aloha nui, class of 2020.